What is up, YouTube? It's your boy ChicoFilo here, man, back with another video. And in this video, guys, I'm going to show you the top 5 rarest builds in NBA 2K21. And honestly, guys, the main reason why I made this video in the first place is because I just really can't play 2K20 anymore. And I'm sure you guys all understand where I'm coming from. It's August. The game is just hella dry right now. And I would much rather give you guys some content with 2K21 builds from the prelude. And I know what you guys are already thinking, man. Like, why am I constantly just uploading build videos? But I'm gonna keep it real with you guys, yo. I honestly don't think that I can make another 2K20 video. I don't enjoy playing that game anymore, and I'm just looking forward to 2K21. But I promise you guys, as soon as the full game drops, you guys are going to see a lot of high quality content coming from me, I promise. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, man, and if you guys want to see more, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to see more of my content. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So the top 5 rarest builds in NBA 2K21. As you guys know, the My Player Builder is literally a copy and paste of 2K20. It is literally the same exact layout. Like, they didn't even change the background that much. And from the prelude alone, this honestly just feels like the same game as 2K20. The only difference is they added a few pie charts, which also means there are potentially gonna be a lot of new builds. And this is why I actually experimented on stream with a lot of different builds and see what I can come up with. Some of these builds that I'm about to show you guys are actually in 2K20 as well. But anyway, coming in at number 5, we have the back to basket big. I can honestly say this was the first time I have ever heard of this build. Back to basket big? Huh? Shades of Kevin Love. Who's Tom Chambers? But anyway, if you guys are interested in making this build, this is how you make it. So you have to make him a power forward, and then you actually have to use one of the new pie charts, which is the green and blue one, except there is slightly more green in the pie chart, so more shooting. And then for the physical profile, the one I went with was the one with the vertical and agility. And these are the attributes that you guys are going to go with. As you guys can see, this build actually isn't that bad. The only issue is it doesn't really have any defense. But look at the badges that this build gets. It gets 20 finishing, 27 shooting, 17 playmaking, but like I said, only 1 defense and rebounding. But that is an insane amount of badges, guys. That is 65 badges in total, which is extremely high for a build. The average build only has about 50 to 55 badges, but this one has 65. But anyway, as you guys can see, this build is pretty decent in terms of the offensive side of things. It's got pretty decent shooting, decent finishing, and decent playmaking. But like I said, the only issue is with its defense. But overall, this build is kind of close to the 3-level scorer. Moving on though, the height that I went with was 6'9", weight was 191 pounds, and then I went with an 86-inch wingspan, and it gave me a post-scoring takeover or a spot-up takeover. And that is how you guys make the back to basket big. Moving on with number 4. This build I'm sure you guys have most likely already heard of. It is also considered one of the worst builds in NBA 2K, and that is the ball hawk. But anyway, like I said at the beginning of this video, I was just experimenting, trying to find new builds. But for this one, I was just trying to make the worst build possible and see what it would get titled as. And this is how I did it. So I made a point guard, and then I went with a pure blue, which is the pure finishing pie chart. But as you guys can see, I basically just spread out all of the attributes. And by the end of that, I ended up having 5 badges in each category, so only a total of 20 badges for this whole build. Oh, and I also made it 5'7", 175 pounds, a 75-inch wingspan, and we actually ended up getting a choice from 4 different takeovers. The one that I went with was slashing takeover, and just like that, we received a ball hawk. Coming in at number 3, out of these 5 rare builds that I'm showing you guys, I personally think that this is the best build on this list. And this build is a 2-way shot creator. Okay, this is going to be very important, guys. If you guys still haven't spent enough time on the prelude, you probably don't know that most 2-ways are basically dead. And we all know how broken the 2-way slashing play was in 2K20. That build could finish, shoot, play defense, and play make all at the same time. That build could do everything. And I'm not gonna lie, that build was hella cheesy on the 2s. Thankfully though, for 2K21, they have nerfed the 2-way slashing playmaker along with other 2-way builds as well. Like, if you try and make a 2-way slashing play now, like, there is no way that you'll be able to shoot consistently with it anymore. However, I truly believe that this build right here, the 2-way shot creator, might be the new wave for 2-ways. I think this year the play shot is definitely going to be the most popular build for guards, and the 2-way shot creator is basically a play shot or a shot creator, but with just a lot more defense. And this is how you guys can make it. So you have to make it a point guard, and then the pie chart that you choose is the half red, half green pie chart, which is the half defensive rebounding and half shooting. The physical profile you're gonna go with is the one with the most speed. And for your attributes and badge layout, this is what it's gonna look like. So typically for a regular play shot build, you have about 20 shooting and 20 playmaking badges and about 8 to 10 defensive rebounding badges. But as you guys can see, for this build, we sacrificed our shooting and our playmaking as well, so that we have 19 defensive rebound. I personally think that this is a great build, but obviously our mid-range and three-point shot rating is not going to be anywhere close to a regular play shot that is in the high 90s. But I honestly think that it's not really that necessary to have an overly high three-point or midi anyway. You'll be able to shoot consistently with an 80 plus. Moving on though, the height that I chose for this build is 6'2". I mean, you could probably make it 6'3" or even 6'4", but this one's mainly preference. And then I went with a minimum weight, and for the wingspan, I went one up from the minimum, so 74.9 inches. And as you guys can see, that actually bumps up our mid-range and our three-point as well. And after that, we can choose from 4 different takeovers, so lock take, shot creating take, sharp take, or playmaking take. I personally think that lock take on this build will be crazy, but in my opinion, it's still best to go with the shot creating take. So I went with the shot creating take, and just like that, we made ourselves a two-way shot creator. Coming in at number 2, I can honestly say that I have never ever seen this build before. I'm not really sure if this is a new build in 21 or if it already existed in 20, but it is the pass first wing. And this is how I made it. So I went with a small forward, and then I went with a pure yellow, so pure playmaking pie chart. For the physical profile, I went with the half vertical, half agility. And this is what I ended up for the attributes. I'm not gonna lie, this isn't really the greatest badge layout there is. This build was mainly just for experimental purposes. Anyway, I went with a 6'8", 185 pounds, and a minimum wingspan. And from that, we got a choice from 3 different takeovers. And the one that I went with was the playmaking takeover, and that is how we made a pass first wing. Moving on with the number 1 rarest build in NBA 2K21. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, this took me a very long time to find. I literally had to keep remaking builds for a whole hour and a half just so I could make a build with this name. After like 2 hours, bro, of trying to find this build. We made like how many builds, but we still couldn't find it. And I think we finally have it, guys. I can't look. Oh my god, let's go, chat! Let's go, man! We got it! Holy shit! Oh my god, bro, that shit took way too long, man. Chat, we finally got it. But before we get into it, I just want to say I have honestly never ever seen this build before until the 2K21 prelude. However, my viewers in my stream were telling me that this build already existed in 2K20. But anyway, here it is. It is the deep range shot creator. This is how you make this build. So it's going to be a point guard, and you're actually going to go with one of the new pie charts, which is the green and yellow pie chart, but the one with slightly more green. For the physical profile, you're going to go with the one with the most speed, and your attributes are going to look something like this. In all honesty, guys, I think this is a pretty solid build. 26 shooting, 15 playmaking, and 5 defensive rebounding. It's like your average play shot build, except it has slightly more shooting badges, but less playmaking and less defensive rebounding badges. But overall, I think this is a decent build. The height that I went with is 6'3", and then I went with minimum weight, and this is actually the most important part right here, guys. The wingspan is actually what determines what the build is going to be called. So say I went with a minimum wingspan here, it is most likely that this build just gets called a playmaking shot creator. However, if you make a build anywhere close to a playmaking shot creator, and if you max out the wingspan, so 84 inches, you will get a deep range shot creator. But before we get to that, you can actually choose from 3 different takeovers. We've got the spot up shooter takeover, slashing takeover, and the shot creating takeover. And of course, I'm gonna go with the shot creating take. And just like that, guys, we have ourselves the deep range shot creator. Honestly, like I said, guys, this is my first time ever seeing this build. If you guys have seen this, I'm sorry if you guys didn't think this was rare enough. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. If you guys think that there are other more rare builds than the top 5 list that I've showed you guys, then make sure to let me know in the comment section below. But other than that, guys, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video once again. Yeah, that is it for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace.